Good morning, Tehmina Khan is here in TKMaths 1. This is video number 2 on the revision of concepts of year 9 and 10. So there are few concepts, 4 concepts, and we will have a revision of those. So question number 6, we are continuing with. Find the equation of the line passing through the points which has these coordinates. Now you need to understand here or recall here, when you are finding the equation of the line, what will be the form of it, which is y is equals to mx plus c, and how to find out m and c. Now m represents gradient, so if line is passing through the 2 points which are given to you, to find out m, you just apply the gradient formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I will apply it in this formula. My y coordinates, it is your choice. You want to do 9 minus 13 or 13 minus 9. It is your choice. But important thing is, if you are writing 13 first, right, you are doing 13 minus 9, then in the denominator you will do minus 3 minus 5. You can't do 5 minus minus 3 because you have taken 13 as a first number in the numerator. So now I will have minus 3 minus 5. So what it is equals to? 4 divided by minus 8, which is equals to minus 1 over 2. So gradient is equals to minus 1 over 2. Now how you will find c? So now your equation is y is equals to minus half x plus c. To find out c, you can substitute any pair of point, either this one or this one, in place of x and y in the equation of the line. So suppose I am picking up 5, 9. This is my x, this is my y. You can take other point also, and I will replace it. So 9 equals to minus half times 5 plus c. You know minus half multiplied by 5 actually means minus 5 over 2. Okay. Now the common mistake which is made by student here is, just a minute, is what? They cross multiply and 9 multiply by 2. You can't do that here. You know the reason? Because in the denominator of c you have 1. Until and unless two denominators are same, you cannot do cross multiplication. So please be very mindful about it. So now what I will do? Either I make the denominator same, or what do? I can take minus 5 over 2 to the other side, which I will do right now. Okay. So it will become 9 plus 5 over 2 equals to c. And you know this thing is equals to what? If I take LCM here, I can do mentally also. So it will be, this is what we do. I'm just telling you background, what is the logic behind. So it is 18 plus 5 over 2 equals to c, which is equals to what? 23 upon 2. So this is my value of c. So in this equation, now I can write here y is equals to minus half x plus 23 upon 2. Now if you want to leave this equation of line in this form, it's fine. But if you don't want to write it in fraction form, sometimes examiner says bring it into this particular form. So because denominator is same, now I can cross multiply and it will become 2y equals to minus x plus 23. You can leave it like this, or you can also take x to the other side, then it will become 2y plus x equals to 23. So in any form you can leave it. Okay. Okay. So now let's do next question. Now this is about limits or about bounds. Limit of accuracy or bounds. Now I will explain with the help of question 2 or 3 extra things which are not asked in this question, but can be asked to make the question when the question is made tricky. So now we are talking about here a rectangle in this question. Okay, let me draw a rectangle here. Not very perfect, but that's okay. So the length is given to you 127.3 centimeter and the width is given to you 86.5 centimeter. Both corrected to one decimal place. Now this is something very important. Question is saying calculate the upper bound and the lower bound for the perimeter of the rectangle. Now, the perimeter formula for the rectangle is what? You multiply 2 times length plus multiply 2 times width and add it up. So first of all, I have to find out the upper limit and lower limit, which is called upper bound and lower bound, for length and for width. Because my length is 127.3 and question is saying it is corrected to 1 decimal place. So what we will do, 0.1, because it is 1 decimal place, divided by 2. What will be my answer? 0.05. This number I will add and subtract in 127.3. Now question may come here, why are you taking 0.1? Why are you dividing it by 2? So I'll tell you this. Let me first of all add and subtract 0.05 in 127.3. So when I do subtraction of 0.05, I get what? 127.25. And when I do addition of it, it will become what? 127.3 plus 0.05. Mentally you can do it. So it will become this thing. Now this is the lower bound and this is the upper bound for the length. Now let me tell you the reason why do we divide it by 2 here. If the question was saying correct it to 2 decimal places, for example, right, depending on the question, then you will do 0.01 divided by 2. So whatever is here, depending on that, you always divide it by 2 to get your addition and subtraction of the upper or lower bound. In this case, it was 1 decimal place. So I have written 0.1 divided by 2. I got 0.05. I added and subtracted. Now let me take the width here. Width is 86.5. I have to get upper and lower bound of it. Because it is the same 1 decimal place, sometimes it is different, okay? So be very careful. So I will add and subtract 0.05. So what will it become? 86.45. And when I will add, it will become 86.55. Now when question is saying, for the perimeter you have to find upper bound and lower bound. So what will you do now? Using upper bound, I will find out the perimeter of the rectangle. Formula is 2 times length plus 2 times width, right? So I will use the upper bound, which is 127.35. 127.35 plus 86.55. And then you can solve it. And similarly, if you have to find out, by the way, in the question he is not asking the perimeter. This part I am doing extra just to explain to you how to use it, because he is only asking the upper bound and lower bound for the perimeter of the rectangle. So these are the upper and lower bounds. Okay. So now for the lower bound, if I want to find out the minimum value of perimeter here, same formula, but I will do, instead of I will do 2 times 127.25, right? Because this time I will take the lower bound, these values. So plus 2 times 86.45, and then using the calculator you can write down the answer. Okay, I'm leaving that part to you. All of you know how to use a calculator. Now let's see this question. This is a tricky and the last question of the this video. This is algebraic fraction and you have to simplify it. You have to write it in the simple form. I can see here this is quadratic equation, this is quadratic, all is quadratic. So to simplify, the common mistake made by student, can you think what is the mistake they make? They cancel this m square with this m square, this m square with this m square, this 9 and 6 they cancel, like 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. So these are the common mistake. You can't do this. You know why? Because there is addition sign between them, minus sign between them, so you can't. If you have multiplication throughout instead of these plus minus sign, then you can do that. So you have to factorize it. So if I factorize this, I told you the technique, the coefficient here is 1. 6 times 1 is 6. because you could have any other number here. So whatever number is here, you will multiply by the constant present here. Okay, so now just a minute, let me erase this one. Okay, so now 6 times 1 is 6, and the factors I can make out of it is this. Which one will give me 1? Because the coefficient here is 1. It is this pair. And because it is minus 1, so it should be minus 3 plus 2. So now numerator will become minus 3m plus 2m minus 6. This is usually called middle term breakup. From denominator I see 9 can be written as 3 square. And what does this remind me? This reminds me this formula, this algebraic identity, which can be written a plus b and a minus b. Right? Let's come to the other term. This m square will remain as it is, but in the denominator I see the common is m, because there is m square now. So it will be m plus 2. Now again for the left hand side term, I have to factorize it. So I will make factors from these two terms and these two terms. In the previous video we have seen factorization in detail. So now from here, numerator, this is I am getting factorized, and from the second term it will be 2 common. So m minus 3, because it is 3 2s are 6, 2 is a common factor. In the denominator, now here you will apply this algebraic identity formula. It will become m plus 3 and m minus 3. And second term will become what? It will be as it is, or if you want, you can cancel this m with this. Right? Now I can cancel it. Why? Because there is bracket, it means this term and this is multiplying. So now you can cancel it. But not with this m, okay? Because there is in the bracket and it is with plus sign. Now in the numerator again, if I see m minus 3 is a common factor, so I can write here m minus 3 common out. So what is left from here? M and plus 2. This will go in the other bracket. Denominator I will write as it is. And then the other term, there is multiplication. So I can cancel any numerator with any denominator because there is multiplication throughout. Now this m plus 2 can cancel with this m plus 2. There is what? Multiplication in between, so you can cancel it. This m minus 3 will go with this m minus 3. So what is left at the end? M divided by m plus 3. This is how you will simplify algebraic fraction. This was rather challenging question. In this case, you have to make x a subject. Sorry, I said last one was the last question of the video, but this is the actually last question. So now if I have to make x a subject, it is within the bracket and a square. So I need to remove this square. But before that, 6 will be shifted to the other side. So y minus 6 is equals to x minus 4 square. So if you want to remove a square, what do? You remember, you take a square root on both sides. But when you take a square root on both sides, you write plus minus both signs. So now it will be x minus 4. If somebody does not know, because if you have a square in the bracket, it cancels out. So that's why if you will take a square here, right, this 2 will cancel with this square root. Okay, so now you are left with x minus 4. This minus 4 will go to the other side and it will become plus 4. So you will have x is equals to 4 plus minus y, this thing. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. You can share it with your friends and press like and subscribe button. Take care. Allah Hafiz.